right, let's dive right into this explainer and figure out exactly how solopreneurs can transform their business from a total time for money trap into a truly scalable system. Because look, if you're running a solo business, you already know that growth is the ultimate goal. But what happens when that growth actually starts to crush you under the weight of just way too much work? Well, today we're going to look at how you can scale your revenue without simply hiring a bunch of new employees. And we'll do it by leveraging smart systems, automation, and some really strategic offer design. We really have to start by acknowledging a pretty painful reality for a lot of solo adventurers out there. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Are you running on a hamster wheel where your income is directly tied to the hours you work? Traditional service models completely trap you in this linear income cycle, meaning more work equals more money. And sure, while hiring more people seems like the obvious fix, it usually brings massive hidden costs. You instantly get hit with onboarding time, management overhead, communication gaps, and honestly, much slower decision-making. So instead of solving your problems, throwing a bigger team at it can sometimes just create a whole bunch of new ones. I absolutely love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. If you're stuck doing the work instead of designing the path, you'll always hit a ceiling. To break out of that solopreneur cycle, you really need to transition from just blindly completing custom tasks to strategically architecting your business operations. You've got to fix those inefficient processes, eliminate the repetitive tasks, and really utilize technology so that your business actually becomes stronger, not just bloated and bigger. So here is the roadmap we're going to follow today to completely overhaul your business model. We'll kick things off with breaking the time money trap. Then we'll look at scaling up without hiring, building your marketing funnel, implementing a hybrid offer strategy, and we'll wrap up with automating your passive income. All right, section 1, breaking the time money trap. Let's figure out how to break this cycle. So handling every single custom project entirely by yourself, that is a one-way ticket to pure burnout. Custom work just slows you down. Think about it. Every single time you start from scratch for a brand new client, you're wasting precious time and severely limiting how much you can actually deliver. If your business depends entirely on you to function, it is never going to scale efficiently. We absolutely must systematically eliminate these bottlenecks by completely rethinking our deliverables and getting our repeatable processes documented. Moving right along to section 2, scaling up without hiring. This is all about the systems and tools. Now, every business has tasks that honestly don't require high-level human thinking. I'm talking about things like scheduling, filtering your inbox, preliminary client screening, basic support, and of course, invoicing. By leveraging tools like an AI-powered virtual receptionist for these specific tasks, you can easily reclaim 10 to 15 hours of your week. To put that into perspective, the average solopreneur actually saves over $7,000 annually in equivalent labor costs just by outsourcing these administrative duties to AI. Plus, it maintains totally professional communication. You essentially stop being a full-time administrator and you finally get to be a full-time entrepreneur. But here's the thing, automation is really only half the battle. The other half, that's your offer. Instead of offering infinite, highly custom solutions to everyone, you need to transition to a productized service. Basically, standardize your pricing and deliverables into a simple tiered package model. Think a basic plan, a growth plan, and a premium plan. This makes selling significantly easier because the client knows exactly what they are getting up front. Plus, your delivery becomes so much faster because you aren't reinventing the wheel every Tuesday, making scaling entirely possible without adding a single new employee to your payroll. Which brings us to section 3, building your marketing funnel. It's time to build your engine. So the core purpose of a funnel is simply to visualize your customer's journey. It lets you see exactly where a customer enters your world and the exact path they take. It usually starts from a simple lead magnet, maybe an incentive like a handy checklist, a video challenge, or an ebook. The goal is to offer immense value in exchange for their contact data. From there, you deliver that instant gratification and gently guide them toward a targeted sales follow-up. I really love this analogy from the source material. A funnel is basically like a giant fishing net. You cast your net super wide with your lead magnet to catch all the little fishes. But as we know, not everyone in that net is your ideal client. Some are just list sitters floating aimlessly, and some are, frankly, jellyfish you definitely want to weed out. The funnel's true job is to slowly filter out the noise until you're left with only the highly qualified, hot sea bass. Those are your prospects who are absolutely ready to buy what you're selling. Now, the real magic happens when you look at the data this funnel generates. By analyzing specific click data, you can actually segment your audience. Let's say you send an email with 2 links, one for a Canva template and one for a funnel building tutorial. You can track exactly who clicked what. Then you just segment those people into different groups and send highly targeted nurture emails based on those specific interests. This targeted follow-up is exactly where you're going to see a massive increase in your conversions. Okay, let's jump into section 4, the hybrid offer strategy. We're talking high and low ticket offers. So high ticket offers, which generally range from $2,000 all the way up to $50,000 or more, require a ton of deep trust. The sales cycle takes weeks, sometimes months, relying heavily on relationship building and consultative calls to provide true, highly customized transformation. Low-ticket offers, on the flip side, range from around $97 to roughly $2,000. That sales cycle is fast, minutes to days, mostly relying on automated funnels and scalable templates to provide accessible, really quick wins. Think of it this way. High-ticket buyers are investing in a destination. Low-ticket buyers are seeking quick, relevant solutions. The math here is actually pretty fascinating when you compare the two. Let's just say your goal is $300,000 in revenue. Well, you can hit that goal by closing 20 high-ticket clients at $15,000 each, or you can hit it by selling to 1,000 low-ticket customers at $300 each. It is the exact same revenue, but it requires 2 completely different business operations. One is heavily based on deep relationships and low volume, while the other is all about automation and high volume. But here is the secret. When you combine both of these approaches, you create the ultimate 4-tier hybrid value ladder. You start by using a free offer magnet to capture and qualify your prospects. This naturally feeds into an intro offer, maybe a focused engagement for a few $1,000s. Then, as your clients experience your value, those ready buyers organically climb the ladder up to your core flagship offers, and eventually right into your premium advisory work. It completely eliminates that stressful feast or famine cycle because your systems are constantly nurturing prospects upward, all on autopilot. Finally, let's get into section 5, automating your passive income. Let's talk about automating your wealth. First things first, we really need to bust a major myth here. The common expectation of passive income is that it requires absolutely zero effort. Pop it online and hit the beach, right? Well, the reality is far from effortless. Building alternative income streams like online courses or affiliate marketing demands some intense initial creation and continuous strategic management. If you don't manage it correctly, these quote-unquote passive streams can actually distract you from your primary business growth and tank your return on time invested. It is all about front-loading the work to create assets that pay off reliably later. But once you are ready to put in that upfront sweat equity, there are some truly incredible vehicles out there. You can create digital products like ebooks or templates and distribute them through Gumroad, which is a platform that brilliantly removes all the technical barriers of e-commerce, so you can literally go live in minutes. For educational content, you could build scalable online courses on Udemy. You might even tap into affiliate marketing via networks like ClickBank, or build up a portfolio with dividend stocks and real estate investment trusts. And to make sure these systems are actually working reliably in the background, utilizing advanced data attribution tools like Search for your storefronts is absolutely vital for optimizing conversion rates, so you aren't constantly hovering over your dashboard every 5 minutes. Well, we've covered a tremendous amount of ground in this explainer today, everything from breaking the time for money trap to designing your own hybrid value ladders. So I want to leave you with this one thought. What will you automate tomorrow? Seriously, you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just start small. Pick one digital product idea or go fix one single administrative bottleneck using AI. Because true business scaling isn't about running faster and faster on the hamster wheel. It's about having the courage to step off and actually design the path. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you on the next one.